Okay, today I want to talk about how muscles contract. This is how it works. I've looked online to see, is there anything like this online? Yeah and no. Their explanation is that electricity, an electric impulse is sent to your muscle, and then it gives this massive explanation that your muscle contracts. It doesn't really say how, but it then goes into all the explanations of all these things that get released into your body to make your muscle contract, which is nonsense. Everything that's going on is due to electricity and electromagnetism. I mean, all those things are happening. There is no doubt about that, because it's been tested. But that has nothing to do with why the muscle has contracted. There is a reason for the muscle contraction. Everything else that's going on is due to energy burning through matter. Okay? So all those other chemicals and calciums and ions that are all going on, because I've just read it, they all explain what's happening in the muscle while it is contracted. Okay? But that's not telling me why it's contracting. I say it's contracting because energy moves matter. More energy, more movement of matter. Matter cannot move unless energy moves it. That's my theory from God. So I'm going to explain it using electricity and electromagnetism, which, there aren't many other forces in the universe other than those. They've just been labelled other things. So this is my rendition of how your bicep works. Okay. We have the top left picture and we have a side view. On the left, from top to bottom, is what the muscle looks like relaxed, and the one on the right is the muscle contracted. So we have our hand to the left, so you would be looking at left arm, right arm, but looking at the flow of energy. So an electrical impulse shoots through the muscle. Now when you have electricity and it meets matter, you get electromagnetism, and this shoots out perpendicular to the original flow. Now I wish I'd brought up the bit from the article, actually, because the matter in the muscle has perpendicular arrangements to the energy flow. So you can go look that up, and I can't remember the words. Some scientific word. I don't really care. I'm telling you what's moving everything, because matter can't move. So to tell me matter is doing something is ridiculous. It's energy moving through matter. In fact, stuff it, I've just gone and got it. Okay, I'm going to read this and I'm going to explain a few things about them which totally correspond to what I say about energy and matter. Excuse me. You can think of the muscle fibers as long cylinders. These would be Birkeland currents that can be contracted because energy runs through the cylinders. I've said this before, energy runs in the boundary, so it's running in the edge of the cylinder. Compared to other cells in your muscle fibers are quite big, they're about 1 to 4 microns, blah blah blah. The muscle fiber contains myofibrils, cylinders of muscle proteins, again cylinders, which is how energy travels in a double helix finger cylinder. These proteins allow a muscle cell to contract. Not saying how. Myofibrils contain two types of filaments that run along the long axis of the fiber, which is where the electrical impulse goes, and these filaments are arranged in hexagonal patterns. Well, I've already shown how the giant's causeway was made and all the hexagonal patterns, and that is by interference waves. That is from energy, and when energy bunches together, light waves, they form hexagonal patterns. So I've already explained all this. They are thick and thin filaments. Each thick filament is surrounded by 6 thin filaments. I haven't gone into the numbers yet, but who cares? Here's my favourite bit. Thick and thin filaments are attached to another structure called the Z-disc or Z-line, which runs perpendicular to the long axis of the fibre. The myofibril that runs from one Z-line to another is called a sarcomere. Running vertically down the Z-line is a small tube called the transverse tubule, which is actually part of the cell membrane that extends deep inside the fibre. So yeah, if we have a look at my drawing, you will see that I have got the long filament, I have got a perpendicular filament, and I've got one that goes straight through the middle, straight upwards. Let's take a look. Okay, so if we look at my picture on the left, we've got my electricity line down the middle and perpendicular structures, and if you look in the center where it says how all muscles work, you will see that I have got all them circles like an onion on the right hand side there, and a line going straight up the middle. Funny how I've drawn that, isn't it? This is all electromagnetism. Okay, back to explaining how muscles really work. So top picture is relaxed. Electrical flow is low, going down to the hand. The bicep stays relaxed. Second picture is from above. As you can see, electric impulse from right to left, but perpendicular electromagnetic energy flow up, not up and down, but as you can see, from side to side. And face on, the energy is going away from us into the screen, but the electromagnetic flow is going around and up while it is contained in the matter. So once you have a high energy flow of electricity, you get a high electromagnetic flow. So what actually happens is, if you can imagine this in your head, a circle at the bottom, two arms come out, spring upwards and meet at the top. Now, how high you contract your muscle depends on the electricity that you put through the muscle and depending on the weight that you're carrying. So a more electrical flow through the muscle creates a larger electromagnetic field. So the electromagnetic field shoots upwards, lifting the matter. And because it's moving upwards, it causes it to contract backwards to the shoulder. So what you're actually doing is lifting things by electricity and electromagnetism. It's actually nothing to do with the muscles. If you eat loads of food and work out, you get bigger muscles because you are creating a bigger electromagnetic signal. And energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, then energy moves matter. So big muscles, even though they can lift big things, it's not because of the muscle. It's not because of the matter, it's because of the energy signal you send through it. The strength of the signal decides the power of the muscle. So if you don't lift things and you're not putting all that extra energy into your muscles, they no longer, the matter gets taken away by your bloodstream because it's not needed because your energy isn't filling them, so you lose weight. If you work out, it expands your electromagnetic flow outside the muscle, which then forces matter outwards and makes your muscles bigger. And so that's how muscles work. So what have I got with the conclusion here? Our brain sends an electrical impulse to the muscle nerve. The electrical impulse causes an electromagnetic pulse into the muscle tissue perpendicular to the original flow. The rising EM pulse grows larger, thus lifting the muscle tissue. The muscle tissue contracts and moves backwards due to the raising of the EM pulse energy, which raises the matter, thus shortening the muscle. And again, I've got the bottom there. Energy attracts matter, matter covers energy, and energy moves matter. And that's how muscles work. Just wondering what else I've got written on here. And this takes us to Jeremiah 2:13. I do believe that's the one, where God talks about our bodies. Except he doesn't. Our bodies are cisterns for energy, but these cisterns leak and cannot contain the energy. We have left the source of living water, which is energy. And I do believe Jeremiah 2:3 says along the same lines, it says they have left the source of living water and have hewn out cisterns for themselves, but the cisterns leak and cannot contain it. That would be us. We have left the living water of God, and this is the body we are left with, but they leak and they cannot contain the energy, so we die. Thanks very much. My name is Lee, and I'm a Christian.